your journey.
Yeah, great.
What are your first impressions of him?
Well, I should have bought him when he was at Rochdale. He come to our attention very quickly, and just thought at the time then it's a big jump for him to go from Rochdale to the Premier League. So, but monitored his progress, and what's attracted to me is that journey he's had. Is one of a Jamie Vardy, something like that, if you like. You know, it's one of them ones where he's had it tough, didn't go his way when he was young, thought his way was blocked, had to go down non-league and then work his way back up. And even when he goes to Brentford and doing well, he recovers from a serious knee injury. And this season he's been terrific. So I think he'll be a big favourite of the supporters. Certainly, if when you watch him play, he's quick and dynamic and a very, very good finisher when he gets there. So let's hope he can have all the attributes. He's got all the attributes, which is why we went after him in the way we did.
In terms of one of our outgoes this week, we saw Ashley Westwood move to Burnley after 4.5 years.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say that's a move that suited all parties?
Yeah, I wish the lad well. He's a model professional. He served the club very, very well. I think it was time for him to move on. You know, he'd been through the tough times here, which has not been easy for anybody. And Ashley is a terrific professional, and he's the type that you don't really want to lose your football club. But I think at the time that it was right for everybody, and I said that to him. I said he might need a new challenge, fresh surroundings, and I do genuinely wish him the best of luck. I hope it goes well for the lad.
Now we've got another quick turnaround after Tuesday night, a fixture again tomorrow evening. Has it been good for you to have the new players in, more time to gel and more time?
Well, of course, I think that's the big key to it all, is time to gel, new players in again. So I think something like 7 have come in, 7 have gone out. In the summer, it was even more than that, which equates to something like 35, 38 ins and outs in a short period of time of 3-4 months. So the club has gone through a huge turnaround. It gives me now, the transfer window's gone, it's finished, and it gives me the chance now to work with the team of what we've got and how we're going to improve as a team. And of course, what the new lads need more than anything now is they need time to settle into their surroundings, get used to playing for this great club of ours. And with that, with the supporters, that they need the help. I know they're disappointed of what happened the other night, but you're right, there's another turnaround. And there'll be 2-3 other new faces for them to see tomorrow, and they'll need time to settle into the new surroundings. But I'm delighted of what we've done. I didn't think we'd be letting 7 out and 7 in. I thought it was going to be quite a quiet window, but the opportunity came early where I had a big decision within a week of the transfer window opening with Rudy, and thought, okay. So in that respect, I'm pleased with what we've done. But you're right, it gives me now the time to work with the team, and of course we all want time, and let's hope that happens.
Now it's fair to say it's been a turbulent season so far for Forest, but they've had back-to-back home wins. Things are looking up for them. What sort of match are you expecting tomorrow night?
Well, look, we're live on the TV again. Any team we want to go and do with a big scalp. The people want to turn us over, delighted to play against us. And Notts Forest will be no different. They've had a tough time. That just shows you what the division is. They've had a tough time, won back-to-back home games. Everybody feels a bit rosy. So we did it a few months ago. We need to go back to the basics of what we did then, you know. And I'm convinced that we will. And we need to improve away from home. Where home form stacks up, away from home, it's nothing short of woeful, if we're being honest. So we have to address that. And try and get ourselves on a run if we possibly can, a bit like what Forest are doing at the moment.
Mile and Gabby both missed the game the other night. How are they both doing now?
Mile is close, not quite close enough. Gabby's got a bad one, which is unfortunate, because just when he was getting back to somewhere near being Gabby, you know, against Leeds, I thought he was excellent. Was it Leeds, our last home game? Who was our last home game? Preston. Sorry, I thought he was excellent. And unfortunately, he tore his hamstring on the last kick of the game before Tuesday's game, so disappointing for him.
And is everyone else okay?
Everyone else is okay.
Brilliant.
Thank you
Very much, Steve. All the best.
Thank you.
Steve, obviously you spoke in the aftermath of Tuesday. You just said about being a big scout. How much is that?
Look, I think we have to get used to that. You know, it's what we are. You know, we're a big club where everywhere we go we take a massive following, like we're doing tomorrow again. It's quite unique, the support we've got. And that's what we have to put up with. That's what playing at this club means. To play with this club, there's an expectation. An expectation what some of the players haven't had before, especially the new ones we've brought in. There's an example for you. So they need to have time to settle into that new surrounding and be reminded of what the demands are to play here. And then it becomes difficult. But the one thing we have got, when I went and spoke to all the players when we arrived, the six who we brought in, the lure of the club was easy for me. Absolutely easy. And even somebody like BeanymanSports, who's an international, playing in the Champions League, top of the Swiss League, even he was convinced to drop down a division to come and play for a club like ours.
Is that because they bought into your vision? I'm guessing when you sign players in January, a lot of times people sign players in January.
Well, I didn't think I would be signing 7. I didn't think I would be letting 7 go. The opportunity arose and I thought, okay, it's an ideal situation to clear the decks and start again. And to be fair, we did, with the club has made, as I've just said, between 35 and 38 ins and outs in 2 transfer windows is quite ridiculous and remarkable. So there has to have a time now of stability. And you hope, and I'm convinced that I'll be given the time. We all require that as managers. And certainly the new players that have bought into that, they need time too to settle, get used to the new surroundings. But I'm convinced they'll be all good players and take the club forward.
Talking about Scott, can you throw him straight in? And secondly, how excited should Villa fans be about him and Jonathan?
Well, look, I think he'll epitomise our support. He's somebody who's young and hungry and desperate to achieve. He's had it tough, which I like about him. He's had a few kickings, and he's got up, and I think they'll enjoy playing and watching him. He's dynamic, works hard for the team, and more importantly, when he gets in front of goal, he's a really, really top-class finisher, in my opinion. So I'm delighted we've got him. You know, the decision to sell Rudy was questioned by everybody, but in the back of my mind was Scott Hogan. We then thought he's going to go to West Ham, and when that collapsed, it gave us an opportunity, and even then we had to beat off a couple, which I'm delighted we've done it, because I think he'll be an excellent player for us.
Bang up for tomorrow? Ready?
He's ready, yeah.
Do you know Gary Brazil at all?
I don't really. I know Gary. I've played against him and all the rest over the years. Don't really know him. Don't know him personally, but he's won back-to-back games, which I'm sure pleased everybody.
And lastly, how's Henry been this week? Is he chomping at the bit?
Henry, he's got 6 stitches in his eye, something like that. So, bit of a sore eye, but I'm sure he'll be wanting to do well. I don't think he's got anything to prove. He was a good player for them, and he'll be a good player for us.